Hey there, UniGang, I'm UniJohnicorn. Today, I want to do something a little bit different. I want to talk about why I prefer SAT over IGCSE. Now, if you don't know what they are and you don't know the differences between them, they're basically examination courses. IGCSE is equivalent to a 10th grade international qualification, whereas SAT usually used as an entrance for the USA as one of your IGCSE subjects. Now, the main difference between the two examinations are their purposes. IGCSE exam is a secondary education qualification, though unlike IGCSE, SAT requires a particular score. Now, right off the bat, I want to point out that there are no different comparisons between IGCSE and SAT. IGCSE, SAT meets standardized test requirement for college admission. IGCSE, on the other hand, is one of the high school curriculum favored by top tier colleges and help you to meet their requirements. Just wanted to get that out of the way. Now, before I get into why I think SAT is better than IGCSE, I want to tell you, UniGang, my personal stories, experience, if you will. I want to share with you my experience throughout my high school years so far. Before I talk about why I prefer SAT over IGCSE. Now, if you didn't give a shit about me and you just came here to know why I prefer SAT over IGCSE, then you can feel free to skip to your liking. I'll put a bunch of timestamps wherever, and also I'll put timestamps in the link below. So I started my IGCSE journey when I was in grade 10, when I was 15 years old, at the Oxford Academy in Kuwait. I was new to the whole IG thing, so I had no idea what was knocking at my door at that time. But eventually, I did get used to it. I chose 4 subjects: English, Math, Physics, and Business. One thing I forgot to mention is that English and Math are not optional, if that makes sense. They're chosen for you. However, they do force you to choose either Math Extended or Math Core, or or English as a first language or English as a second language. These are your choices. I chose English as a second language and Math Extended. Now, choosing Math over Core doesn't necessarily mean that they're for the pussies that don't study. It really depends on your future career when you grow up. For the first couple of months, I was very decent. My mother even registered me in a couple of tuitions to boost up my confidence and my scores, even though I was very decent. There were a handful of tuitions, by the way, like handful of tuitions. I got better and better every single month. That was very beneficial for me, and I love my mother for that. Until eventually, the coronavirus stole the spotlight. I think it was around March 2020. We had no school for months and months, until eventually on October of 2020, which is not too long ago, if you think about it, I started online class with a new school this time. I'm not allowed to share the name, so sorry for that. But I went to a new school because my mother suggested that I switch to SAT, because according to her, she thinks that is better for me and less pressure. Less pressure compared to IGCSE. At least according to my mother. But at the time, I had no idea what to choose, so I took my mother's advice and I switched to SAT. Then, whoa, what a great decision, man. So we're gonna get into that right now. The reason why I prefer SAT over IGCSE is that, first of all, is it easier? The answer is yes, infinitely easier. And why? Because, for my money, SATs require little to no revision, depending on your level of education in year 6, and are only in a couple of subjects that IGCSE have hours and hours and hours of materials needed for you to be perfect. In case you are referring to SAT subjects test, they are harder than IGCSEs and somewhat equivalent to and easier than A-level subjects. This is my previous booklet for the Physics IGCSE past papers. And this is my current IGCSE SAT book revision test material requirements. And this is my previous IGCSE math past papers. And this is my SAT past papers. I don't even know if they call it past papers in SAT, but those are the revision materials requirements for math SAT. Now the thing is, in IGCSE they give you questions that you have to fill in the blank. You know what I mean? And you have to show you're working as well. SAT, on the other hand, they just make you choose multiple choice questions. They even show you how like what they call the PITA. They even give you questions that make you use the PITA method. That's what they call it. PITA stands for plug in the answers. It's basically a math strategy. they give you the numbers on the question that you have to fill in the blanks. They want you to put the number, like you have to go one by one on the letters A, B, C, D until you get the right answer, you know what I mean? Another very good thing about SAT is that they also give you strategies like, for example, this one. Try solving the following practice questions by plugging in. Remember to check all your answer choices and plug in a second set of numbers, and if more than one answer choice produces your target number. The answers can be found in part IV. And this is the period I was talking about. Plugging in the answers is another approach to solving algebra questions. It uses numbers instead of algebra to find the answer. As you've just seen, plugging in is useful on questions whose answer choices contain variables, percentages, fractions, or ratios, not actual numbers. Beta, on the other hand, is useful on questions whose answer choices do contain actual numbers. ETS always organizes answers in numerical order, usually from least to greatest. You can use this to your advantage by combining peta and POE. To use peta on an algebra question, take C and the middle answer choice and stick it back into the problem. If it makes all of the statements in the questions true, then it's the right answer. If it doesn't eliminate C and try another answer choice. Usually, you'll know from your experience with C whether you'll want to try a smaller or a larger choice. If C is too small, you can eliminate the smaller two choices and try again with the remaining two. Using smart POE can really save you a lot of time. When you find the right answer, you can stop because the answer choices are actual numbers and not variables. Now let's take a look at this question. A duck travels from point A to point B. If the duck flies 3/4 of the way and walks 1/9 of the way and swims the remaining 10 kilometers of her trip, what is the total distance in kilometers traveled by the duck? And here are one of the answers: 72. They show you how to crack it first, then they'll test you eventually in the next page or two. To use peta, here are the solutions if you're tired of me. So yeah, I had a couple of friends who say that SAT is no different than IGCSE, but for me, I prefer SAT over IGCSE. I really do. IGCSE never gives you how to solve strategies. Like, they don't give you strategies, you have to figure out yourself. But SAT, they give you strategies from their past papers. I don't know if they call them past papers in SAT, but SAT, they give you solutions before they test you. SAT, they just they test you. Now another great thing about SAT is that the majority of their questions are multiple choices, and that's way easier for me. Like, so I guess this wraps it up. I hope this video helped you out. If you want to see more of these videos or any other type of videos, comment down below. I'll try my best to do anything for you, UniGang. You are my family after all. I love you so much. You know, you can choose whatever is beneficial for you. I'm just telling you my personal experience. I'm just telling you my personal opinion. Like, why for me SAT is better than IGCSE, but for you, IGCSE can be better than SAT for you, but it's your opinion, my opinion. Everyone has different opinions. Love you, UniGang. Take care. Say hi to your family from me, and take care, UniGang.
Every week is fashion week for me. Wake up, put on all the freshest shit you ever seen. New York, LA, Milan, Italy. I know that your girl wanna get up and leave with me.